People have been dreaming for 100 years about leaving Earth and exploring the galaxies. But most of the time, we feel like this. We were born too early. This arrow is not meant for us. So, is that really true? And I also want to ask you, do you think so too? Actually, if we wanted, we could start reaching our dream today. Are you asking how? By building a base on the moon. Yes, I know, it sounds like madness, but the truth is this: we already have more than enough technology for it. According to current estimates from NASA and the private sector, building such a moon base has a chance to cost around $20 to $40 billion, and this could be spread over 10 years. These numbers are close to the cost of the International Space Station or Germany's budget surplus in 2017, so it's not as crazy an investment as most people think, but the return? Immeasurable. The moon looks like a perfect testing ground to further develop new technologies and learn how to use resources that are almost limitless. We could start a new space race and take the first steps towards spreading into the solar system and even beyond. And on this path, many new technologies would emerge that could make life on Earth better. Every one of us would be part of it. So then the question everyone is curious about is this: why are we still standing still? The answer might ruin our mood a bit, because it is very hard to convince governments to invest in long-term projects for the distant future of humanity. But come on, let's imagine, even just for a small moment, we decided to do it. If we started today, how would we need to build a moon base? Throughout history, colonization has always happened in phases. For example, during the discovery of the New World. In the first step, kings decided to fund exploration missions. Maps were drawn and even flags were planted, but no one stayed permanently. In the second step, small settlements were established. These places were very dependent on their homelands. Some couldn't endure and gave up, while others survived. In the third step, real colonies were formed. People migrated with their families, wealth was produced, and that wealth was sent back. We will walk the same path when colonizing the moon, but this time in a way where millions of innocent civilians will definitely not be harmed. Actually, the moon is not a friendly place at all to live and build a life. One moon day lasts 29 Earth days, and the temperature difference between sunlight and shadow can reach over 300 degrees. There is no atmosphere at all, meaning those huge meteorites and that damn radiation hit us directly. On top of that, the surface is covered with very sharp dust that seriously irritates humans. Yes, naturally, the moon becomes a hard place, and it already is. But we are good at hard things, aren't we? The first step actually started a long time ago. With the Apollo missions, we proved that we could reach the moon. After that, satellites mapped the moon, rovers carefully examined and checked the surface, and water, ice, and metals were searched for. So the exploration phase is mostly considered complete. Now we're ready to move on to the second step. At this stage, astronauts step in. They're assigned to build the first moon base, and if this started today, it could be possible within 11 years. The first base is expected to be small. Inflatable living habitats for teams of up to 11 people are being considered. Bases could be built in places that provide natural protection, like lava tubes or craters near the poles. Astronauts will not stay for long periods. During the lunar night, solar panels cannot operate, so the bases may be left empty between missions. But these teams will lay the essential foundation that makes life permanently possible. Scientists and engineers will start studying the moon's soil, trying to melt ice and turn it into water. This water, of course, will not be used only for drinking. It is also critical for growing plants, storing energy, and most importantly, producing rocket fuel. Water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. Fuel produced on the moon can be stored in orbit. This way, missions going to Mars or even farther can refuel from the moon. Sending something into space from the moon is much cheaper compared to Earth. But this is still not a real colony. If funding stops, the base is abandoned. To move on to the third step, the moon base must become self-sufficient, and right here, powerful and wealthy private companies step in. Valuable metals can be extracted from the moon, and even materials like helium-3, which could be used in future fusion energy, could be sent back to Earth. Asteroids can be redirected towards the moon's orbit and mined. At the same time, concrete can be produced from lunar soil. Massive structures can be built. With 3D printers, almost anything can be produced. As time passes, the population grows. Engineers, pilots, and workers join the scientists, and one day, the first child on the moon is born. At that exact moment, the moon is no longer just a place used for work and experiments, but a place where life happens. After that, schools, farms, and new living areas start to be built one by one. Systems where 100% of waste is recycled, plants grown using less water, maybe even the first space elevator. The moon could actually become an economic center on a scale no one can even imagine. Then we start asking these questions. Who does the moon belong to now? What country will a child born on the moon say they're from? Will a new moon society be born? No matter what happens, the moon is a perfect starting point to learn how to colonize the solar system, a project where humanity can act together, maybe even the biggest one ever. And maybe, if things that should not happen occur on Earth, this could be the only way for us to survive. If one day we want to colonize the Milky Way, as with everything, we have to start somewhere. Why not there? Why not now?